What's going on, everybody? Nobody, of course. How all live videos start with nobody. But trying a little different setup here tonight. Sorry if I look fish-eyed and weird. It's kind of how it's looking on my screen here. It's just because I'm at the top of this webcam. Oh, typical GoPro. Look, that's a little better. You get to see the nasty ceiling of my shop there. Cool. Trying out a new setup here tonight. I've got the DJI Osmo Action 3, and I feel like there's no audio. Let me check that. There's audio. Obviously a delay here. Okay, good. That sounds nice. All right, we'll get better at this, I promise. But I have my laptop here, which you can kind of see the corner of, and my workspace. This is if you saw my Instagram stories at all, by the way, I'm Dirt Road Therapy John on Instagram. And so if you saw my stories at all yesterday, you saw this dump truck bumper that I'm working on for a friend. So I'm going to be doing the wiring for that. This sits up above the bumper and holds reverse lights, brake lights and turn signals, turn signals and brake lights. What's up, Robbie? Online fire training. That sounds super enjoyable. How's daylight savings time treating you? It's always depressing when it gets dark at like 5 o'clock. As for this evening's beverage, I have a Miner's Daughter oatmeal stout from Mountain State Brewing. If you're ever in Davis, West Virginia, give them a try. I've actually never been in the brewery, but the gas station / liquor store right next door has all their stuff. And how long has it been since you've seen a koozie that looks like that? It's like hard rubber. Jeep koozie, classic. Oh, and I shook it up way too much trying to get that on there. Whoops. Okay. All right, sorry to waste time on my live dealing with spilled beer. But yeah, anyway, we're just here to hang out anyway. I'm not really trying to teach anybody anything new about wiring or anything like that. So yeah, we've got a trailer wiring plug here. Like I said, these are going to be the brake lights. These are going to be the turn signals out a little wider. And these are the reverse lights. So I'm just kind of trying to get an idea for how everything's laid out and what needs to get tied together. Diagram. This made in China Amazon Caro Fix. Yeah, it's what you'd expect, but you know, ground is white. Yeah, makes sense with the ring terminal. And black goes the battery. Blue is brake, of course. Like trailer brake. We've got it's red. Reverse red. I'll tie that into the reverse lights. Green is right turn. left turn is yellow, brown is brown. Taillights. Okay. So reverse lights, tail lights. This is kind of weird. This light has reverse and turn, I guess. That's what it's going to be. I'll be over there. Got my license plate light. So yeah, so we got to tie in turn signals, reverse lights, brake lights. This wasn't a great project for me to do on camera because I have to think about this stuff as I do it, not just talk the whole time, or I'm going to get confused. But what's up, Jeremy? They got plenty of room for these. Brake lights. To keep white as ground for everything. I would hope white's ground on everything. Watch it be black on these lights. I'll have to kind of wire stuff up and test it. I'm figuring I'll do is kind of tie things all together, kind of step them down as I go, and I will be crimping things with these guys. Yes, I do live in Pennsylvania. It is exceptionally warm today. Very oddly warm. Like my concrete floor is obnoxiously sweating. I was sweating today, so I can't blame it. Nice. I will be doing some more TDI related content here as time goes on. What I would like to do, if you're not aware, I had a series on the channel Bleep and Jeep where I did the swap in, I think it was 7 or 8 episodes, and never really concluded. I would like to conclude it, but I'd also like to kind of summarize the whole thing in probably one episode. So it'd be like one 45-minute episode maybe. Cut out a lot of the, fluff and talking from beginning and outro of each episode and that kind of thing, and make it a little more streamlined episode. So, well, it won't be streamlined because it'll be long. But anyway, I think that would be something people are interested in. And on one of these Sunday service live videos, we can kind of talk about my setup and what's all been done to it and future plans and things like that. So yeah, it hasn't really been done on my channel. Just kind of got into doing the adventure videos, knowing that I'd be coming back around to some of the more technical stuff as well. But here we are. So yeah, there's not going to be, I guess I could have tied all 3 of those together, but whatever. There will be some steps to this. So Jeremy, you're in Baltimore, Maryland area. That's not my favorite area, but there's some cool stuff in Baltimore. Baltimore. I used to like going to Baltimore Inner Harbor, but I haven't been since, I don't know, 2013. And I hear it's changed a lot, as have most cities. Yeah, so Blackhawk, replying to you, just verbally here. The Bleep and Jeep story, I try not to get into it real publicly, but basically, if you have not heard from a creator on Bleep and Jeep for a long time, assume that they are gone. So that's the case with everyone previous. Obviously, Nate went and started his own channel. Pat left the channel. Jeremy has left the channel. Bleep and Rose. Tyler, Tim. I feel like I'm forgetting somebody on myself, obviously, but yeah, it's all kind of been a very similar story for everybody. So not talking about this to trash talk anybody, but basically, yeah, everybody had kind of about a 2-year run, more or less, and that was that. So it wasn't our own choosing necessarily to leave the channel, but the way it went for everybody. As far as I know, nobody's really on great terms with Matt. Again, not our own choosing. It's a weird situation. So that's all I'll say about that right now. Yeah, it's Matt and Colt at the moment. Those are the only two faces that you will see that are truly part of Bleep and Jeep. Obviously, he collaborates with a lot of other channels now, which is cool, but they are not part of Bleep and Jeep. And I guess there's camera guy Josh that you may or may not see. I haven't watched much of the channel at all lately, but I don't know if you see him on there or not. But there's another guy Josh that's does some camera work and some of the wrenching behind the scenes, I guess. Hopefully that answers your question. What's up, Jay? I feel like I only hear from you, Jay, on Instagram anymore, which is fine. Instagram's cool. But that's just life sometimes. That's too large. You know how it goes with heat shrink. You kind of end up with like using the same size all the time. You might have trouble calling me this week, buddy. If you call me Monday or Tuesday, because I will be out in Maine later this week. Let's try this. This is my good heat shrink. This stuff. Some scissors since they're right here. This is the stuff with the glue in it. Good heat shrink. Some white. One piece of white. Forget it. I'll just use this. Stuff's not that expensive. Okay. This is just going to be a short hangout, more or less. This thing is going to take me way too long if I'm talking the whole time. But it's cool to see some folks on here. I got 3 people on right now, I guess. Yeah, call me tomorrow if you're still there, Jay. That'd be cool. Reading some of your comments here. They cleaned up the harbor. That's good. They're I think every city has a major drug problem now. So that just means if they cleaning up the yard where there is. I used to live in a city. I lived right on the fringes of where they didn't want people to be with drug problems and stuff, and where they didn't care if they were. So they ended up on my doorstep a lot of times. Real cool. Good times. All right. I think I'll make this my main harness. Maybe that makes sense. Let's see if that works with this pretty well or not. I don't mind doing wiring when it's just like on a table like this, or if it's something, real easy to get to. It's like hood wiring stuff that gets a little bonkers, as you know. It's the important wiring. I never mind wiring like lights and stuff in. The game changer for wiring is if you hate wiring, it's probably because, maybe you just hate it because it's time consuming, but if you hate doing wiring on your vehicle, there's a good chance you're like me, and it's because you didn't have a good place to route wires. Routing wires up through the firewall, finding a place to put them. So those, what do you call them? Like Switch Pros type of thing, S-Pods and some bus bars really kind of changed the game. Gives you good places to ground things, good places to grab clean power from, and your switches are already routed. That was always my issue back in the early days of wiring Jeeps, is like, where do I put the switch? And when you already have a switch kind of there waiting for accessory, it's nice. Makes it a quick and easy decision. I didn't test that to find out if that was truly. Should find out what that is. Of course, these cheap Amazon stuff, they never come with any instructions. Another cool little wiring thing that'll make your life easier too. Having some test leads on hand with alligator clips and stuff on them. But this little guy, this is just a generic Milwaukee M12 battery. So it's a 12-volt source. I've got it labeled here, negative, positive. And I just put some little blade connectors on here. And there's a fuse in this too, if you can see that there, because nobody likes to touch hot wires or melt things. So I'm hoping black there is positive and white is going to be my ground. So see, that came off. Oh, that's lighting up my reverse light over here. It's doing nothing to this. Why would that be? Nothing. Strange. Let's get back to comments here real quick. Trailer connector, rewiring samurai. The MLCs from Rough Country, they are nice. They're probably one of the good, inexpensive options. S-Pods are overpriced in my opinion. There's nothing that special about the S-Pod. The MLCs are nice. I think they just changed something with them fairly recently. They're the thing I didn't like about them for a while was that they were a metal cover on them. So there's just seemed like it'd be way too easy to short something out by putting that metal cover on and off of there. So that wasn't my favorite. These look dumb so far. Like this wiring's going to be reverse. Yep. Don't you know it? This one's, oh my gosh. Amazon for the win here. Black is positive on these lights and white is positive on these lights. Awesome. Also, these have no plug on them. That's really cool. These have a removable plug. Whatever. Yeah, being colorblind for wiring would definitely be a reason to dislike wiring. I hadn't thought of that. Oh, there, I just blew my fuse. See that? I was thinking I should do that. Just keep my little 5 amp in here. Ooh, 15. Oh, I didn't blow it. Really blew the battery then. Yeah, wiring colorblind, that would suck. You'd have to like label everything and not trust any of the colors. So yeah, the Milwaukee battery thing is nice. They make like little 3D printed plug-in things that you can get for them, but the spade connectors works out just fine for me. All right, so I need to totally undo this and redo that with a, let me just do it on this side without, I don't have the other light. I don't know where it is. Okay, like I said, this wasn't the best project. Like I said, this wasn't the best project for me to try to multitask on. But this has got to go. Waste. Waste of a thing. And this one's got to go too. Okay. Now, white to black, black to white, I guess. That's how this one's going to go. Excuse me. How's that fire safety training? I assume it's fire safety. You said fire training. Sounds like a great use of time on a dark Sunday afternoon, evening, whatever it is. Afternoon, evening, whatever it is. All right, what did we say? White was ground on this one, and yeah, I did that backwards. White, just confusing. Okay. White, we were saying, was ground. Yeah, white is ground on this one. And yeah, there you go. Power. Black is ground on this one. White's 12 volt in. Right? Yes. Okay. So dumb. Now, why do I have two other lights here? Let's find out. Obviously, I have the inner light there. Okay, that's yellow. Oh, good. Okay. So that is going to be my turn, and that'll be my running. Sweet. Okay. And I will wire the red with the black. That's my power for the reverse lights. So when the reverse lights come on, so will these other reverse lights. Oh, right. Yellow. Yellow was the reverse lights. Go. Running and reverse. You can't see it, but I can. The other reverse light's working. Okay. That's going to be my combination here. Should put a switch on that. That would be helpful. On my test leads there, so that I could turn it off and not have to worry about shorting things out. Some fire suppression stuff. That's fun. An online training, I'm assuming you're just watching a video. Oh, let's not do that. That would be terrible. Need to waste more stuff. Okay. These little crimps are nice, by the way. These are just like, I keep showing stuff to the laptop. The camera's up here. These are basically what's inside of like a normal butt connector, but they don't have any plastic on the outside, because unless you're buying the expensive heat shrink butt connectors, this is a 100 pack for, I think it was like $8 or $10, and that pretty much does everything that you need. I did not want to tie all of those things together. The white wire needs to come off of there. It needs to be a separate 12-volt input. I want reverse lights wired together. That should be correct. Let's just see here. There we go, reverse lights together. It's been a while since I've done any online trainings. I think the last one I did was on bloodborne pathogens or something. That was a bunch of obvious stuff. Like, don't put other people's blood in your mouth. If you get blood on your hands, wash your hands. Yeah, difficult concepts. Okay. Basically now, what I was trying to do here, I screwed up. That's better. Grounds. Tie together all my grounds was the main name of the game here. And let's find out on this guy if it cares. It should care because it's LEDs. Which one's positive, which one's negative? Let's see if it's white or black. Okay, white is negative in this case. So that is way more wire than I would ever possibly need. But this kind of already pigtails. And what I was doing was putting this in with the rest of them. So let's try that. And then I think I'll sign off after I connect this. So much accomplished, I know. Okay. All right, that's that ground. I need, can't forget about the license plate bracket. That needs a wire on it somewhere too. But worry about that later. Interesting, hold on. This has, I just realized this has 3 wires coming out of it. And I hadn't even thought about that being a thing. This has 3 wires coming out of it, which means, is there a brighter mode or something? What's the purpose of the other wire here? I bet you there's like a low and high, because that seemed kind of dim. Oh yeah. I think that's a high mode and a low mode for sure. So glad I'm wasting all these connectors and not thinking through things properly. This red wire from the reverse light is my high, which needs to be routed to 12 volt. So redo that crimp. And then I've wired 3 lights. Yay! I mean, that's half of them. Sort of. Still got the trailer wiring. I would probably do that too, Robbie. However, this is not my truck, so I am not running a switch for it to have full-time reverse lights. But that's a great idea. I still have never done that on my XJ, and I should. It would be nice. But XJ is a manual transmission, so I can turn the key on, put it in reverse, and have the lights come on. That's probably why I've never bothered to do it. Plus, having full-time reverse lights if they find the switch for it, is not going to pass inspection. So there's that. All right. I can work with all that. Oh yeah, another ground wire I got to think about too is for the backup alarm. This guy. All right. I think it's about time to sign off. Maybe think through some of this a little bit more without having to multitask, and finish this up a different day. I don't know how much you want to spend on light bars and stuff, Robbie, but Baja Designs makes some sweet reverse lights that I'm going to be integrating into the XJ. They are by no means cheap, but they're not wildly overpriced or anything for the quality of the light, and they're slim. I forget what the model number is. It has a 2 in it, but they're 2 little lights side by side, probably twice the size of each of these, if you can see the individual round lights there, and they would be a good fit for integrating into a bumper. They're like a flush mount light, so if you're screwing them into the bottom of the bumper, that's not going to work. But I mean, if you just want 6-inch light bars, I'd probably just go with something cheap on Amazon and flood that area with light. That'll work. Yeah, that's kind of where you got to figure out what's worth it for you, how long you're gonna expect it to last, and all of that. All right, guys, I'm gonna sign off. Thanks for joining and chatting. It's been fun hanging out. Just like last time, I'm probably not going to follow up on what what this turns out as, but here, I'll show you what it looks like quick before I go, so you can kind of at least have some satisfaction here for what I'm working on. But yeah, just kind of one of those things that I got to get done and move on with life. But here you go. That's more or less what it's going to look like. One of these lights going on the right side, license plate up in here. So 3/16 plate, not light. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching.